Goeiedag, good day, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world.
I've been looking around for salvation. I've been looking around for the truth. All around me I see frustration, and I looked all over till I found you. I sit and listen to your stories, and you're telling me, please don't worry. A lot in this world you should know, and love in life is where you should go. If you're looking for somewhere to go, if you're looking for someone to know, if you're looking for someone to guide you, then love in life will guide you.
Goeienaand, good evening, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world. Now, good evening to my Loving Life family. Have I got some really exciting news for you? This evening is very exciting for me. I really feel like my baby has come of age. We're in the process of freeing ourselves from the vagaries of YouTube and their biased manner of moderating and control over channels using their platform. Channels seen as right-wing have been removed without notice, resulting in thousands of hours of videos being lost. Alex Jones' channel was removed this way by YouTube, and he now has a new, independent, successful platform with his videos. In the past, I have had so many emails from people asking me why I have blocked them from commenting under videos. If I do block someone, it is for very good reason. This happens rarely, except when there is an obvious spammer. It is YouTube who interfere and block people, not the channel owner or its moderators. For years I have dreamed of moving the Loving Life channel off YouTube and into an environment where we control our own destiny without the constant threat of YouTube just shutting down our channels. Now that dream is within our grasp. We already have 2 working websites off YouTube, both linked to the YouTube channels. I'll actually drop them into the side chat here so you can have a look at those later on. There we go. Both linked to the YouTube channels and automatically post videos as videos are posted. They are realnewsessay.com and minorityessay.com. Our new main website to which we will transition is called lovinglifetv.com. I'll just put that on the screen, although it's under construction. But this is the first time lovinglifetv.com has ever appeared. It just came out this evening. Thanks, Rudy. Great job. Okay, let's continue. Right, now, here Rudy will be placing the 6,250 plus videos from the 3 Loving Life YouTube channels into one functioning channel, which will be fully searchable and have the same functionality as YouTube videos that I post, but it will offer a lot more, and this is where the point of difference comes in, guys. It will allow the Loving Life family to be even more included. This inclusiveness will increase as we bring more functionality down the track. Please bookmark lovinglifetv.com. I'll just put that into the side chat. Let me try again. Hang on. There we go. Okay, that's the new main Loving Life channel that'll be used in the future. So please bookmark that lovinglifetv.com, which is under construction, but will soon be up and running. Tonight we'll be talking to Rudy about this channel and its interactivity. The other 3 domains will not be wasted, but be used in future, maybe for merchandising or forums, etc. In the meantime, the Loving Life and Loving Life YouTube channels will run as before, independent of the new website at lovinglifetv.com, which will be constantly updated as I post videos on YouTube. All live streams will be on the old Loving Life live channel from the 1st of January 2021. So please make sure that you have subscribed to that channel as well. The link is in the description directly below this video. I will put the link in the side chat and below the description of this live stream. Down the track and below the description of down the track, it might be years, we will remove the YouTube channels and just work on the new website. I say we because one of the features includes the ability for approved volunteer citizen reporters to post news stories and videos as well. The most critical development of this new independent Loving Life platform will be inclusiveness. Rather than being restricted to a comment below a video or 200 characters in side chat, there will be plenty of facilities for Loving Life family to post images, videos, comments, etc. And there will be several volunteer citizen reporters who will post news and videos. This will be a real community, not a channel living under the constant fear of a fat-fingered YouTube moderator. Of course, as a community channel, we would love you to forward us any ideas you have that might add to the new Loving Life TV channel. And I'll just put that link into the side chat so that, once again, so you can have a look at that. And also the link to the Loving Life Alive live stream channel. Please subscribe to that before we stop putting the live streams into the main Loving Life channel. That transfer will happen on the 1st of January 2021. All right, in conclusion, please remember to subscribe to the Loving Life channel to be kept informed and post your questions for Rudy in the side chat. Now, let me get Rudy on so we can get right into this. Here we go. And please don't forget to put your questions in the side chat, because this is a time where we're all going to be part of this channel. I'm just waiting for Rudy to connect. There we go. Come on, Rudy. Marlena, can you, oh, look, I'm sure Rudy knows. Hang on. We're having a little problem here, guys. Don't you know it? Okay, let me just go through how inclusive this is going to be while I'm just waiting for Rudy to connect. Oh, here we go. I think we got it now. Come on, Rudy. Okay, let me just send him another message. All right, while I'm just waiting for a response from Rudy, let's just see what's happening in the... Okay, here we go. Rudy's calling me now. Hi, Rudy.
Hi, Scott, can you see me?
Not yet, but I tried to call you a couple of times, but it didn't connect.
Yeah,
We did test this morning, guys, and it worked perfectly. Rudy, I still can't see you. There you go. Now I see you. That's perfect. Okay, can you turn down the connection to the live stream audio, because I'm getting it coming through. The sound is very bad. Your audio is very bad. That's better. No, that video is much better. You were all yellow before. The sound that you had it this morning was perfect. Okay, let's see what's happening on the side chat. Hi, JVR. And I've just got to say, I think Rudy's going to call me back again in a second. I just have to say, guys, that it's thanks to Jan van Riebeck that we were able to download the 6,250 plus videos from the Loving Life channels, and they've already been backed up off the they've been backed up off the YouTube channel, so we are not dependent on YouTube anymore. Let's see how we go this time. Hi, Rudy. Okay, we're having a little technical issue here with Rudy's audio, but I'm sure that'll be fixed soon. I can hear you in the background, Rudy. Are you there?
Stop. I was busy. I'm just going to restart this machine of mine quickly.
Yeah, look, your mic seems to be echoing. Okay, just let's do a test. Just say hi or something. I have to tell you, I hear my voice coming back through from your side. I think that might be the problem. Okay. All right, guys, so I'm just going to work on the side chat. Marlena says, Scott, what do you mean thanks to Jan for... No, what I mean, Marlena, is Jan actually provided the funds for the hard drive that we use to back up all the videos. Yeah, I get that, Viking. Yeah, hopefully we'll be back soon. I'm just going to shut this down because we've got a poor connection there anyway. Now, just for the record, half an hour ago, the new Loving Life website went up, even though it's under construction. LovingLifeTV.com. I'm really excited by what this thing is going to do. While we're waiting for Rudy, are there any questions that people might have regarding the new platform and what we're doing? And let's talk about that while Rudy sorts out his technical issues. Yeah, look, Jan van Riebeeck is an absolute gem, even though Ramaphosa hates him. Yeah, now look, Rudy's doing a fantastic job, guys. You know, we as I say just now, as soon as he gets it sorted, we're going to go into all the things that you're about to do on the new Loving Life channel. Yeah, Jan, we are one step closer. I can tell you one of the things that we're going to be doing while I'm just waiting for Rudy to get this sorted. The Loving Life family will be able to have like a little profile page. So you could have like a little photo of yourself, a little description, a bit about yourself, and then that can be linked directly to each comment you make. It's an option, but just imagine how useful that will be. And that's just one of many, many new features. Okay. Okay, Rudy says, back with you now on the notebook now. Okay, right. Jan van Riebeeck says, the feeling is mutual to Ramaphosa. Nico, why is your wife angry with you? Hi, Dan. I'm looking. Viking says, please explain about the videos or images subscribers can upload. All right. What this means is we're going to have, and we've already identified a few citizen reporters, volunteers, who would be posting news stories into the new website. So it's not just myself who'll be doing it. It'll be other people who'll be putting news in there. And they'll be able to put in videos and images into those news stories. But here we go. Let's see if this works now. Hi, Rudy. Hi, Rudy.
How's it?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Scott. Can you hear me well?
That is absolutely perfect. It was worth the wait. I can hear you absolutely perfectly. All right.
Sorry, my large PC somehow just decided it's time.
Yeah, well.
So I'm on my notebook now.
This always happens when you go live. Believe me, I've seen everything when with these live sessions. Now, during the introduction, I basically outlined why we're doing this. It's basically because of YouTube, you know, interfering with the channel, threatening to take it down and all those sort of things. Do you have anything that you'd like to add to that?
Yeah, Scott, but let me just greet all the Loving Life family members first, and all the Stoutgatte there in the side chat. Yeah, the reason why we are doing this is to get independent, so that nobody can take down any of the Loving Life content. so that we have full control over our own destiny. That's basically what we're doing. If YouTube was somebody that we could trust, we might have just stayed there. Hey?
Exactly. And I should just add that Dr. Trost Becker, who I spoke to last night, he complained that he had a video taken down because he questioned the coronavirus. Now, I've had several videos taken down by YouTube for the same reason. And sometimes you get community strikes for doing that, which is really irritating, because when you get a community strike, for a week you cannot post a video on your own channel. This is the sort of crap and the hoops that you go through with YouTube. Now, let's look at the new direction and the cost considerations of what we're doing here, really.
Yeah, the important thing that we must remember is that Loving Life, yourself, and including myself and so on, we don't have the funds to go to web hosting for dedicated server setup. And even if we had to do that, you've already got over 6,200 and nearly 6,260 videos on, and the amount of space even on a dedicated server would not have been enough. So we got to work around how we're going to protect this archive of important videos of yours. And as per normal, this is what I do for a living. There are workarounds for everything that we do. So the platform that we are going to choose is a relatively inexpensive web hosting facility. Definitely not a South African web host, and definitely not an Australian web host. We're making use of an international web host with proper bandwidth, proper redundancy, meaning that they've got mirror servers running, so your uptime will be very close to 100% of the time. Well, one can say 100% of the time because of the web hosting that we've chosen and the facilities that they have.
Right. Now, how will this work and the functionality? But before I ask you that question, let me just say that I just want to shout out to Jan van Riebeck, who came to the party and helped us. And maybe you'd like to just speak about that.
Thumbs up to Jan. Jan, we're using the 8 terabyte drive that you so graciously donated for Loving Life. It's in this PC behind me that I've been struggling with and so on, but all the YouTube videos are safe. All of them, both from the Loving Life 2020 channel as well as the main Loving Life channel. And then, of course, the Loving Life live channel has got 40 or 50 or 80 videos on. That is minuscule against what I've already downloaded and secured. So I must just go and set up the YouTube download software that I've purchased to go and download that channel as well and throw it amongst the other videos that we have. So at present, the videos are all residing on this 8 terabyte hard drive. But the next thing that must happen is, because of our cost constraints and whatever, we're going to push those videos back up to the cloud, not back up to YouTube, back up to a cloud service, a premium paid for cloud service with unlimited space. Normally when you purchase cloud services like Dropbox or Google Drive or OneDrive, one gets between 3 and 15 gigabyte, and that's largely insufficient. So we have to go for a paid cloud service with unlimited space. So I've already purchased that at a monthly tariff, and that's my contribution to Loving Life, is I would like to pay for that. And same with the hosting. I'm footing the bill for the hosting. but I've got a very large hosting reseller account, so it doesn't really physically cost me money out of pocket as far as the hosting is concerned.
Right. Now, you just mentioned you've got a large hosting account. Can you explain to people your expertise in this area of websites so that they understand that this is right down your street, what you're doing for Loving Life?
Yeah, I'm a commercial web developer. I develop content management systems, learning management systems in such a way that I've already developed learning management systems for colleges, and I'm busy with a university online learning management system as well. I've got about 25 years active coding experience. So I'm a programmer and a web developer. I write international premium plugins for web development, and I also lecture in web development. So this is right up my alley. Apart from the other things that I do, as you guys know, and as the family members know, I've got a legal background. I used to be a procurador. I used to defend the criminals and you know, take them or put them back on the streets. Did many divorces in my life, and so on. So I've got this legal background, and but before I even studied law, before there was even personal computers, I started programming in 1982 already.
Wow.
When I was at school. Currently, I'm doing 12 computer languages and some databases. So, yeah, I'm right up there as far as web development knowledge is concerned.
Fantastic. Now, let's get back to lovinglifetv.com, which is going to be the main website for the Loving Life channel in years to come. How will this work, and just overview the functionality of it?
All right. Basically, the first thing I need to say is I'm going to build the website to be very much a YouTube lookalike. Not completely. We're going to build all sorts of extra functionalities in, but it's going to be a simple interface with a white background and a grid with the videos like you are used to seeing on YouTube, you know, so that you can easily go to the different videos. But the added functionalities that we are going to build in is proper searching and filtering, so that you can search for a series of videos. Say, for instance, the Siener van Rensburg series, you can search and filter out so that you just get those videos in front of you. Or Your Life Scott, those 6 videos that you made about your court case, cases there in Australia. So we're going to make it extremely easy to navigate. And the same with the chat functionalities that we're going to build in. You know, I saw on some of the live streams that we had some of the animals on the side chat said that we better make it easy for them so that they don't have to learn too much. It's going to be as easy as YouTube, if not easier, to do. So, you know, a chat functionality, your normal website chat functionalities doesn't refresh immediately so that you see the stream of chats coming in. But we're going to build an Ajax chat functionality in which immediately refreshes the chats and the comments, so that it streams like you are used to it doing on YouTube. The same will apply to the comments on news articles. I'm also going to build the Ajax chat functionalities in there. So yes, it will be easy to navigate. And luckily in the web development world, there are millions of people out there who write these plugins and there's a host of them available in the repositories for free. So we're largely going to make use of free functionalities as far as plugins are concerned. We're also going to make use of some proprietary plugins that I've written. We'll get to that later when we discuss advertising or sponsoring on YouTube and those things. But yes, so basically, this easy platform that is fully adaptable to cell phones, tablets, PCs, for your big TV on which you watch your internet stuff. It's going to be totally responsive. We call it responsive design in the web world, so that it must be able to stretch between whatever medium that you use and be friendly. So that is one of the critical elements for it to be fully responsive.
Right. Now, Bruce Bastards has said, I used to program an RPG2 on IBM System 36 and then 38. That was in the 80s as well. Does Rudy remember those programming languages?
Yeah, I do. Just to give you a bit of my background, I started in 1982 with a little language called BASIC. Don't know if some of the older users remember the ZX Spectrum little personal module computer which you used to connect to your TV. So I started on that, and my first exploits was actually to be naughty. One of the first routines or programs that I wrote was a program to recreate school reports for the students who didn't have nice reports to take home. So yeah, that's never say I've had a dull life.
Now, Rudy, will this platform work on mobile phones, computers, TV, any type of device?
Any type of device. We're going to make it light so that it doesn't consume a lot of data as well, specifically as far as the mobile devices are concerned, by using techniques like very serious image optimization, using the cloud to house the videos, and basically streaming them from the cloud, so it's on somebody else's platform, and it'll be, sort of the same density or the same size as what you're used to streaming the YouTube videos for. So yes, across all platforms, across all operating systems, your Mac OS, your Windows operating systems, your Android operating systems, it'll be compatible with all of them.
Right. Okay, that's absolutely fantastic. Now, how do the Loving Life family get notifications of video updates? And there's a process, isn't there? They've got to register. Can you just take us through that process?
I'm going to elaborate a bit more than that, Scott. After the videos have been uploaded back up to the cloud, basically what I do is I connect the website's media library to the cloud, so that the cloud forms part of the media library of the actual website on its web space. And for that, I use a plugin called the External Media plugin. Additionally, to have all these 6,260 odd videos appear on the website and to reduce our workload, I'm going to be using an auto-posting plugin that takes those media elements and makes news items or post items of them automatically. So say, for instance, in future, you do a live stream through YouTube, it'll land up on my hard drive here, it'll be pushed up to the cloud, and it'll auto-post on the website as well. At the same time, we're going to use the website to view the live streams as they happen. In other words, people would not even have to go to YouTube to see your live streams. They will come to your website and we'll stream the live streams from the website through the vehicle that we use, which is YouTube. So one, to be a bit technical, one builds in the YouTube link and the side chat link by means of simple snippets of code onto the website, and the live stream appears on the website as if it was built into the website, and the people can, from the website, use the side chat functionality. So that's basically it. So we still have to use YouTube as a vehicle. If we move away from YouTube for live streaming, it means that we have to subscribe to some other live streaming site or functionality or software, something like Vimeo. There are various ones of them, they're all paid for. So we will use YouTube for its free functionality as long as they want us and allow us. And when they don't, we will move over to something else for the live streams. As far as the news items go that people watch after you've placed them or after we've placed them, for that we won't even need YouTube anymore. We will make use of the website's functionality to host those things and to host those videos, which will also reside on the cloud and not on our own personal web space. So we will basically be using YouTube for live streaming and nothing else until they push us too far.
Right. Now, I'm just watching the side chat. It's just going absolutely ballistic. And talking about side chat, with the new website, people will still be able to place comments under videos, still be able to use the side chat, all that sort of stuff, won't they?
Exactly, and that's why I mentioned the Ajax chat functionality. It'll be immediate chat. It'll be as simple, if not more simple than YouTube. But there we can make a distinction. Our Loving Life family, our loyal subscribers, we're going to invite them to migrate over to the website and to register there on the website. It's
right.
Free, costs nothing to register there, and then they are a subscriber to the site. And being a subscriber will give them then a little bit of extra functionality. One can even place little bios of everybody that is registered if they want to divulge who and what they are, or not who they are, what they do in life or whatever. No need to divulge email addresses and telephone numbers. That is private. But it'll just add a little bit more functionality as a user or registered user there. And then what we're eventually going to do is we're going to ask some of our selective Loving Life family, the people that we really trust. And yeah, I'm talking about these guys in the side chat now that we see regularly, Jan van Riebeeck, Wolfie, Stronger Together, Peter de Tooy, and those guys, we're going to ask them to even get a bit more involved in Loving Life by helping you with your eye problems, to place news items on the website for us so that you can concentrate on the live streams. Now, there's no way we can be as charismatic as you with hello South Africans and the rest of the world, throwing your hands up and whatever. But we'll do our best, and the thing that we will concentrate on there is to get quality people who are willing to spend half an hour a day to assist us greatly as far as that is concerned.
Right. Now, the really wonderful aspect of this particular website you're building is its inclusivity of family. So people who've been with Loving Life for a long period of time, they'll have an extra level of access you know, and then new people will have a basic level until we know who they are and what they're about. So there's like a generational thing of access within the website, and then those who we allow to actually put up videos and stuff like that onto the main YouTube channel will be just a very few, very carefully selected people. Now, just talking about that, one of the other things that we talked about doing down the track is actually approaching other YouTube channels that we select and offering them a position in this unique platform so that they can actually benefit from our growing viewership as well, and obviously the publicity.
Yeah, we'll host their YouTube videos and help you know, give attention to their viewer base in that way. But you know, we're not going to let them be authors and you know, upload stuff themselves on your channel. We're going to use that functionality that I've already used to download their videos from their YouTube channels and auto-posting them to their little space on the website to auto-post there and so on. You were talking about some of the groups, Boerelegioen, maybe Hein Marx and ULA, maybe people like
anyway, we
Boer
can
Media.
yeah
Boer Media is a very nice lot.
we can talk about that down the track a bit, but that facility will be there. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, how can selected Loving Life family members contribute to the news?
Well, we're going to build a page on the website specifically with a contact form built in, which will go to Marlena's email account, her own lovinglifetv.com email account, where people can say, look, I've got something that I want to live stream about. And you know, they can fill in the details and send it directly from the website, and it'll land up in Marlena's inbox. And because she's so heavily involved in organizing the live streams, she can filter, she can send suggestions to you and so on. The same with you. We're going to create a scott@lovinglifetv.com email address for you. And not that you're going to go away from the homestays@gmail.com email address, but we're going to also set up a forwarder on your Gmail so that it forwards to this new email address until everybody is eventually used to this new platform email address, which is more professional as well. I absolutely hate Gmail with a passion. I can't stand Gmail, so my aim is to get you away from Gmail eventually. Gmail also belongs to Google, as does YouTube, so I want to divorce you from them eventually.
That would be lovely. I tell you what, I wouldn't fight with that argument at all. Okay, now search engine optimization, on talking about Google. How are we going to make sure that these videos we put up are actually on the search?
What very few people realize is that your website developer, and unfortunately most website developers are graphic designers and not coders like I am, they very often neglect the aspect of SEO, which stands for search engine optimization. And what search engine optimization basically does is it moves you up in the search order on search pages in Google. You don't want to be, if you're searching for Loving Life, you want to be on page 1 of Google. You don't want to be on page 13 because people stop looking after page 1. So we have to build in the search engine optimization, but not only for Google. Google is but one of the search engines in the world. There's Bing, which is Microsoft's stupid search engine. There's Yahoo, there's Baidu, there's in South Africa, Anansi. There's a whole host of search engines,
Right.
and they all work according to algorithms, how they rate, the information, and how they push it up the ranking and so on. So one has to actually code the search engine optimization into your website. Otherwise, one has to go and buy search engine optimization or search words on Google, and that costs a lot of money. So I tend to build search engine optimization instead of buying search engine optimization for my clients, and I'm very successful with that. I also use search engine optimization plugins on your website, and then some of the different search engine webmaster tools to index your site and to keep indexing your site. And the nice thing about Loving Life is there will constantly be dynamic content changes, more videos added, and that's part of these search engine algorithms. They see if your website is mobile and responsive. They look for keywords and key phrases. They see if your website is indexed. And there's a whole bunch of things that they look for in this algorithm, and I understand that. So there's code snippets and all sorts of things that they look at. So we will build the search engine optimization with that in mind,
Right.
so that your new platform can be found. It doesn't help to have the most beautiful website in the world and nobody can find you. Then
Yeah.
you can just as well leave it. It's like a blunt pencil that can't write. One needs to search engine optimize your website.
Right.
It's cardinal.
Okay, now one of the things that I love about this new website is that as someone who often has charities we talk to on live streams, we try and make sure their banking details are available. Now, tell us about how we can actually just have a page with all the charities we support, with all their banking details, so it's very easy to access that information either after a live stream or during a live stream.
Look, people are used to websites, whether you go to ABSA's website or to whatever website, you normally have a menu system, and our website will have a menu system at the top. The homepage will be, our own videos and our live streams. We'll have a contact us page. We'll have that page where prospective people can fill in the contact form for Marlena for live streams if they want to come onto the channel. And then we'll have a page on our menu which says charities, and if you go into that, we will list and name and give the banking details of all the charities involved. So the charities and their particulars will be a mouse click away.
Right. Oh, that's fantastic. Now, just talking about functionality, one of the great frustrations that I have, and Marlena will confirm this, is that on YouTube, coming into our live stream, we have people who are not regulars on the live stream, and some of them, unfortunately, are trolls. And on several occasions, we've had someone who's come into one of our live streams and put up the highest bid for a painting, and then just disappeared. And and that is really irritating, because you spent an hour and a half trying to get money for a charity, and this guy's come in, put in a bogus bid, and it's absolutely devastating when that happened. It's happened several times in the past on this channel. Now, with our membership area, anyone who bids, we will actually have their email address anyway, because we'll get their name. We can actually then contact them afterwards. So it takes that out of the picture. So we do have direct...
It takes it out of the picture because when one allows people to register, one can build in a functionality that one can verify an email address. So you register, and when you register, you receive a little email from our site to say, click on this link to verify that this email address is real. You and me only spoke about this bidding thing this morning. I didn't even think as far as my nose is long. But there must be little bidding plugins available, and if not, I'll code one. So we'll build a functionality specifically for bidding in, so that when bids happen, they'll happen in a little widget or in a little area where the bids are separate from the comments. But once again, very easy, very it must be simple to navigate to. No difficult functionality for these old fogies in the
like
site.
Me, the old farts. Yeah, it's funny. Marlene has just said I had to show Scott how to forward a message from WhatsApp. I didn't have a clue. I still don't have a clue how to add a contact from, on WhatsApp. I just don't know how to do it. I've got a smartphone. Just a normal smartphone, but it's it's a mystery to me. The only thing I'm okay with is doing with the YouTube videos. Now, we did touch on the playlists. You mentioned Sina van Rensburg and Sunday service and stuff like that. I guess as an option, and I'm just running something past you as an option. On YouTube, you actually have a playlist, and you click on them, and then up come all the videos under that playlist. We could have that same functionality on lovinglifetv.com, and maybe we have a link.
What we do is we categorize. We categorize the videos very much like you would in a YouTube playlist. When we put them up, we say they fall under news and they fall under Sina van Rensburg. We categorize that, and then to filter or to go to a playlist where that little either short code or that category just immediately appears is so simple, because we filter by means of dynamic tags, meta tags, categories, and so on. So navigation as easy as pie.
Okay. Now, Marlena's role, she's looking after the live stream side of things, so she'll have her own email. I haven't told her that yet, but Marlena, you're going to have your own email address, and people who visit the site will be invited to send her an email if they would like to go on a live stream, or if they have something they'd like to talk about. Do you want to talk about that?
Let me just add, we didn't speak about it, but we can even give our top level members who are really loyal lovinglifetv.com email addresses as well, if we want to.
That's a great idea, yeah. Well, I'll tell you what we could do is for the channel heroes, because I've got you one of the channel heroes. We could have the channel heroes having their own unique email address under lovinglifetv.com. That we can do. We are totally unlimited as far as fantastic. What a great idea.
Email addresses are concerned.
Now,
so the hosting comes with unlimited email addresses, so we can give selective members, and like you say, the channel heroes, email addresses. If they want a lovinglifetv.com email address, they can have one.
Fantastic.
And those email addresses, you can load them on your Microsoft Outlook, or you can go and put them on your phone, or you can access them anywhere with a web interface. So it's email addresses like you are used to. It's proper email addresses that will belong to lovinglifetv.com. In other words, you yourself. But we will provide that facility. We don't pay anything extra for that as far as the hosting is concerned. So we've got that capability. And our website is about community building. And we've got a community. We've got a family. we've got these loyal people in the side chat that we can't do without. So we want to give them something in return as well. We want to award them for being good South Africans, for being good citizens, for being good loving lifeists, if I can put it that way.
Yeah. Now MF has said this new site seems complicated. MF, it's not. This is going to be much simpler than YouTube. The only difference is that there'll be more functionality, which means there'll be more you can do with it. And that's optional. You can just go and watch videos if you want, once you've registered, and make comments just like you do on YouTube. Or if you like to, you can go and explore the news, or you can go and have a look at the playlist. You can, it's just options for people. So it's the basic functionality is basically mirrors what you can do on YouTube, doesn't it?
The front end will be a user interface. It'll be easy. It'll be so easy to navigate. The back end, where I'm involved with the coding and the setting up of the website and the technicalities and the search engine optimization and building in the bidding portion and whatever, those are the technical aspects. A visitor will never see that. A member will never see that. They'll see the easy front end. They'll see the pages that are available to the public. We have a separate back end where we do the admin of the site.
Right.
But even our back end, I'm going to make as uncomplicated as possible by using a whole lot of automation techniques. Things must happen without you or me or Malena or one of or some of the members that are going to put the news items up. Things must happen automatically. They must have a functionality that almost looks like Word, where they can type a couple of lines and add the video and boom, click on submit, and there it is for the front end to show to visitors around the world. But looking at the website from the front side as a visitor, as a member, will be uncomplicated.
Fantastic. Now, Jan van Riebeck has said, will Winston be allowed to sing Della Ray on the new site, or will we have copyright issues? Well, the great news, Jan, is that we will have no copyright issues because we are not beholden to YouTube. So when it comes to Winston singing Della Ray, that can only happen once we actually have live streams on the lovinglifetv.com website, because if we do it on Loving Life Live, YouTube will come down with a copyright bang, that video will be taken down. So we have to wait until we actually have the ability to put videos straight up onto the lovinglifetv.com. That's the simple answer to that.
What we'll do is there are many ways to kill a cat. What we'll do is we'll make Winston one of those authors that can put news items up or put a live stream up. And that live stream will be put up and go and reside on the cloud somewhere and not on YouTube.
Yeah.
And basically he'll do his live stream live on the lovinglifetv.com channel eventually. So there are many things, and there are very few things in the web development world that I haven't done.
Right.
So we can do it.
And the other exciting aspect to this is the way technology is exploding. In maybe 3 or 4 years' time, we'll be doing things on lovinglifetv.com that we hadn't even dreamed of. It'll be a whole new world. So we're still at. When I came on the internet first in 1994, that's how long I've been on the internet, and the first web browser came out. It was so basic that we got excited by pulling up a web page where you could actually see a coffee pot in the United States of America in real time. That was it. That was about the most exciting thing on the internet at that time. And of course you could do emails, but the way it has just exploded when it comes to new technologies and new features and YouTubes and Facebooks and all these different types of things has been extraordinary in that short period of time. Now, talking about Facebook, we're obviously going to have links to our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and WhatsApp accounts, and we need volunteer moderators. So I'm appealing to people in the side chat. If there's a particular social media aspect you're very good at, like Facebook, for example, or Instagram, or Twitter, or WhatsApp even, please send me an email, because I need volunteer moderators to actually administer the Loving Life social media in those areas. Now, we do have a Loving Life Facebook page. We do not have a Loving Life Twitter account at this stage. We do have a Loving Life WhatsApp channel, and we don't have a Loving Life Instagram. So if someone here is an expert in Instagram or Twitter, please send me an email. Let's set it up. Let's get it happening, because we want to get into all these different social media. Are there any comments you have about that?
Sorry, can I interrupt you?
Yeah,
there?
please go ahead.
One must be careful to over-elaborate on social media. One must choose. I always say to my clients, choose two. Choose Facebook and say choose Twitter, and have your pages there and update them regularly. If one goes to too many levels on social media, one starts creating work for yourself behind the scenes.
That's why you need people to do it.
Yeah, but they can do it, but it'll have to be monitored. So
Yeah.
I would suggest we stay with a select very few social media networks where we actually put posts and news items on. But what we do is we integrate social media onto the website. In other words, if you go to a specific news item, news video, at the bottom there will be social media icons where individual viewers who look at it from the outside in can go and click on that little Facebook button, or that Twitter button, or that Google Plus button, or Instagram button, or WhatsApp button, or whatever. Go and click on it and share it straight from your website to his Twitter account or to groups that he's associated with. So
Right.
we'll integrate all these different social media items, but what we will concentrate on, where we put new information on, where we ourselves behind the scenes, you, me, Jan van Riebeek, Wolfie, whoever we decide is going to be helping us with the Facebook and the Twitter accounts, where we put news on that page as well. Those will be limited to this narrow band of the social media platforms that we choose. But then it must be able to be shared over the balance of the social media platforms as well.
Right. Now, just to respond to Mikhail, who says something about why was Chris blocked from Loving Life. I have no idea. He's not blocked as far as I know. Again, just talk to YouTube. YouTube do strange things. I found last week that this is what happens. I found last week I couldn't even post a comment under my own videos on my channel. They weren't being accepted. I don't know what YouTube do, but this is what I was talking about at the very start, because it's not something we've done, it's something YouTube do, and this is why I get so bloody frustrated, because I get these sort of questions coming at me, and I said, look, I don't know, talk to YouTube. This is one of the main reasons we are leaving YouTube, because they do this sort of shit to people. Okay, yeah. So let's talk about the community development of the Loving Life family, and on this new channel. You've just come up with a great new idea just while we've been talking, and there's so much we can do with this. And I'm appealing to people who are watching right now. Please, if you can think of something that's a good idea, just send me an email. And
look.
Yeah, carry on.
As far as community building is concerned, I can only share my experience that I've had about building a website community. One of my side businesses is a rugby union website where I get about 500,000 page impressions a month. It's been running since 2009. But there, in amongst the comments and people registering on the site and so on, it also became like a family. People used to greet each other all over and so on. And it developed so far that we actually organized rugby tours.
Wow.
For instance, I think there was about 14 of us that climbed on a train in Pretoria, serious booze train, and went all the way down to Newlands in Cape Town to go watch the Bulls and the Stormers play one another. All from this community building. And there in Cape Town, we met up with another 50 or 70 guys that frequented the website, and we had a massive braai before and after the rugby match, close to Newlands, on some other school rugby field or whatever. Tired after that weekend, seriously tired, and flew back, with a plane because we wouldn't have made a train trip back home again and so on. But that's the type of community building that we're talking about. People that are involved with another, because we are people with the same sentiments. We are people with a common vision and a common goal. And it can really lead to a very good community.
Right. Now, just talking about that, we've actually had two couples who met on the side chat of the live stream here on Loving Life, who actually are married now through, I call the Loving Life channel the dating channel, and especially when we have our jamming sessions. And talking about our jamming sessions, one of the wonderful features we'll be able to have here in this channel, and when you're talking about going to these rugby tours and so on, is people like Winston Coetzee. We'll let them have access so they can actually put up their schedule of where they're going to be playing. If they're doing a road tour, they can say we're going to be in this town on that day, that day, that day, that day. So it's going to have all these sort of interactive options. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, that's as simple as putting up another page with their schedules and whatever. We can do anything we want, Scott. But at the same time, what we do will just be another menu item. Once again, easy to navigate. If you go there, you go there. If you don't go there, you don't go there. It's as simple as that. But the basic functionalities, the watching of your live streams and your videos must be easy.
Yeah.
To side chat must be easy. To leave comments below a news item must be easy. Those are the major functionalities. To bid on a painting or whatever must be easy. And we'll make it easy.
Right. It'd be wonderful if talking about bidding on paintings, if we had like a separate little window that comes up, which is not actually part of the side chat, and people can just click in there and put in their bids. That would be a fantastic little option.
Yeah, a little widget which appears when we've got bidding going.
Yeah.
That pops out where the bids are and so on. Something very simple like that.
Well, you see.
Something else that I am going to build into your site, whether you like it or not, is I'm going to build a donate button somewhere, unintrusive but visible enough, so that people can, if they want to, no skin off their back. They don't have to do it for benefits or whatever. But I'm going to build a little donate button onto the website where they can send you a 35 Rand or a 15 Rand or a 5 Rand. You've done so much for us in South Africa. We know that you are battling with your eyes. We know that you are a pensioner. So, I'm going to build that in. And if you get 300 Rand a month from it, it's 300 Rand that you didn't have.
Yeah.
If you get 1,500 Rand a month, it's 1,500 Rand that you didn't have, Scott. And I'm going to insist that we do that. The amount of hours that you have spent over the last 4 years for South Africa is uncountable as far as money is concerned. It's uncountable as far as the value us as South Africans have had from Loving Life as an alternative media source to the mainstream media, which we do not trust anymore. So that is just something I'm telling you I'm going to do.
Well, that's lovely. I've never ever asked for donations, but I do have to tell you it's tough, but I get by. But I just want to say, in response to the time I've put into this channel, my heart is in the right place. South Africa gave me so much as a kid growing up. The least I can do is give back and alert the world to what's going on.
Well, I'm in a similar situation. We've all got skills. And during this lockdown, I started watching your videos. And one day after watching one of your videos, I said to myself, you know what, Rudy, you've got to get off your arse and move and do things that mean more to your community. And do things that highlight what is really happening in South Africa. That's why I offered to get involved in developing this platform. That's why, I'm so grateful for somebody like Jan van Riebeeck, who's gotten off his arse and have done so much for Loving Life as well, bidding on the paintings, buying paintings, providing this 8 terabyte hard drive. We need more people like that. We need the community to stand up for South Africa because the government isn't. So we need more people like you. We need more people like Jan, and hopefully I would be able to say maybe more people like me at the end of the day as well.
Absolutely. Look, I have to tell you, Rudy, that I am so blessed because the Loving Life family is so involved now in the channel. And I'm excited by this new website because it'll give us the opportunity to give them so much more inclusivity and involvement. It's going to open up so many doors. I'm really excited by this.
Yeah.
Now, one of the areas where we talk about that is that members who join the new Loving Life website, they'll be able to put up, and I think we touched on this, profiles if they want, where they can put up a picture of themselves or their cat or their dog like they do on Facebook, and they can put a little bit of information about themselves. Obviously, we would not be wanting them to put their cell phone numbers and stuff like that up in there because that's a bit dangerous, but it's that sort of optional thing, and maybe even if they want to, I'm not sure. Look, we're just thinking laterally at the moment. Maybe even there could be a mail me button where their email address does not actually appear, but because it's their profile, the software will just send that mail directly to that person.
Yeah, we can do those things. There are certain things that we got to consider.
Yeah.
In Europe, they've got a system or legislation now called GDPR, which is privacy legislation. Every website has to have GDPR notices, and you have to give consent for cookies and all sorts of things. The visitors in the side chat and the people listening will know about those cookie notices that you get. In South Africa, we've got the POPI Act. In the States, they've got privacy legislation. The only countries that seem to be behind the times as far as privacy legislation is concerned is the old USSR bloc, the Russias and the old Soviet Union, China, and those places. But your Western nations and the UK and Europe and the States and South Africa and most countries have very similar privacy policies, and we got to make provision for that. We got to protect privacy. We're not going to ask you for identity numbers and credit cards and all sorts of nonsense. And whatever you supply that we do ask for will be on a voluntary basis.
Right.
And we'll make fields optional so that you can leave certain fields out and just say, my bio is I'm a cat lover and not I work in the IT industry and I'm a cat lover and what. What we are going to require as far as the website is concerned and the platform that we'll use requires that when you register as a member that you do supply a valid email address. And this is twofold, or we're going to use this twofold. In the first place, we're going to verify that you are not a bot. A bot is a spider or a search bot. We want real people with verifiable email addresses. But we also need to be able to send notifications to you lot in the side chat and the other 88,500 Loving Life subscribers. Hey, there's a live stream coming up. And we're not only going to house that on our website like YouTube does and say, reminder, there's going to be this live stream. We're going to have a mail functionality that you can opt into or opt out to alert you about interesting events coming up.
Right.
So that you don't miss anything.
Yeah.
Anything of real value. We'll be careful with that. We won't bombard you with a host of emails. A lot of people will consider it spam if we do. We're going to be selective. We're going to be responsible. But we are going to require the people that are members or that join as register as members to provide a valid email address. The visitors, that just come and go, those that just look and don't comment and don't contribute and whatever, they don't need to supply us with anything.
Yeah, they can just visit.
Nothing at all.
Yeah.
They just visitors. But you'll see, I'll see, and the people in the side chat will see is we're going to build a massive community here.
Right.
People will want to become members. You won't get any perks. You won't get anything for free. We're not going to hand out teacups and pens and flash drives and nonsense like that. You're going to benefit in the sense that you'll have a little bit more added functionality on the site, perhaps.
Yeah.
And it's free. It won't cost you a cent.
Yeah. And it's a family, so you're actually becoming part of a family. And I think that's very important in these times. Now, you talked about cups and things like that. One of the areas that we talked about bringing in down the track, once we've actually got this working really slickly, is one of the external domains that we could use for merchandising. And, of course, that could be linked directly to the main lovinglifetv.com page, where people could get Loving Life t-shirts and Loving Life mugs and whatever it might be. And I've tried this a couple of times before, but I think the problem we had was that it was always kind of in the to-do list. It wasn't actually functionally spot on. But this is something I would really be interested if someone is in the side chat who maybe does make t-shirt designs or things like that. If they could contact me and we could just get the ball rolling on that for later on. What's your thoughts on that, Rudy?
How I see it, I see this development in roughly 3 phases. Phase 1 is to get this very easy YouTube-like channel out there as our alternative platform.
Right.
And to get the people over. That's phase one. That's most important. That's paramount.
Absolutely.
Phase two will be things like, okay, do we create a subdomain of lovinglifetv.com, or do we use lovinglifelive.co.za, or do we use minoritysA.com, or do we use realnewssa.com, which is the domains that you own? Do we use them and develop on them a little e-commerce platform with products? We're going to have our own e-commerce platform. We're not going to use a third party's e-commerce platform with these generic mugs and generic items. We're going to put our own items on an e-commerce platform. Once again, you're welcome to buy or not to buy.
Yeah.
We will want quality products on there. So that'll be an e-commerce plugin, and typically for that purpose we use something called WooCommerce, which is the world's largest e-commerce platform.
Right.
And then products and all sorts of plugins connected there, that relates to payment gateways. In South Africa we use a payment gateway called PayFast. We use PayPal right across the world. In the Americas and Europe and the seriously developed world, Australia, they use a credit card platform called Stripe, which is secure credit card payments. But once again, that is phase two. It's something that we're thinking about to give added value. A person can, for instance, one of the family members can go to the e-commerce platform and buy his Christmas gift cards, or Christmas cards, or little memory sticks, or whatever, branded with Loving Life, for his family members at a very cheap cost.
Right.
Maybe something like diaries, whatever.
Yeah.
Simple, everyday, to use stuff at a very affordable cost. That is a commercial leg, in other words, phase two, which we hope will earn a little bit of money, for you as well. But once again, no obligation from people to go and buy there. It'll be an added benefit.
Yeah. Now, forum. We talked about having a forum on the website as well, so people can actually discuss other topics that they want to discuss. How would that work?
Look, when you and me talked about it, I've now already mentioned the Ajax chat, which is that immediate chat functionality, that easy immediate chat functionality where the new messages just pop up. You don't have to refresh pages and whatever. But that's on the news items and the live streams, very much like the side chat on the live stream. The forums will be basically to discuss certain important topics. Say we have we build a forum on, and there we categorize it. What do you think about what the EFF did in Germiston at Elspark High School today, and what do you think the EFF does in general? It'll be an EFF discussion forum, and people can talk all sorts of things. EFF, there, how they hopefully hate them.
I think that's a no-brainer.
And different topics there, but what one could very easily build into a forum situation, sort of a chat room situation, is one can have private chats. Say Stronger Together wants to talk to Michelle Millard, And
I'm not going there.
I'm actually, he really likes her, and so on. He can, we'll have private chat functionality as well if people want that. And that leads me to another thing. People in the side chat, you must give us suggestions of what you want.
Yes.
We want to build something that exists, but then we will amplify it with something that does not exist. So if you want a functionality in, let us know, and we'll see if it's workable, and we'll do it.
Well, from what we're talking about here, we talk about sponsors, and I think wedding planners would do really well out of the lovinglifetv.com website.
Yeah. And dating sites.
Now, tell us about sponsors and how that would work.
Yeah, look, being the international plugin developer that I am, and having monetized my rugby website, one can actually make serious money on a website if you have your content. Your content is paramount, but maybe in some of the sidebars on the right-hand side or the left-hand side or bottom and top, one can carry adverts. And I've, for instance, written an advertisement plugin which measures how many page impressions, in other words, how many clicks of every individual actually noticed that advert. And then it can also measure click-throughs. You can make these adverts or promotions or sponsorships click through, so that when you click on this advert of this wedding venue, you go into their website or into their Facebook page or wherever, you land on that person's domain. And typically in the advertising industry, how it works, how the online newspapers work, and how how they make money from adverts, because don't think a newspaper makes money from their street sales. That does not even cover the paper that a newspaper is printed on. The news content in a newspaper, journalists think that they are majorly important. But the money of a newspaper, and my experience with this is, I used to be married to a lady that worked for Rapport and Beeld and Sunday Sun and City Press and whatever, all in the Naspers stable. I'm no longer married to her, and definitely not associated with any media organization, but I know how advertisements work because she was national advertising manager for Rapport and Beeld and those organizations. For their online adverts, they charge a rate per 1,000 page impressions. So for instance, your advert, you've got a shop around the corner, and your advert stays on the Loving Life channel for 5,000 page impressions. That advertiser must pay a rate per 1,000 page impressions. Now, what we're going to do, that's phase 3, is we might monetize the site without it being obtrusive to the people that watch Loving Life. But monetize it in such a fashion that, say, a corporate entity, an MTN or a Vodacom or a Cell C or an Absa Bank or First National Bank, or one of the major sports kitwear, Nike or whatever they want, they see how much traction this website is getting, how many people see this website, and they decide, look, that rate per 1,000 page impressions of this website is a third of what you pay at an online newspaper. Why don't we broaden our view and place some ads on Loving Life TV.com? On my rugby website, one of my adverts, and I've got 9 advert spaces, one of my adverts there makes R1,000 a day.
Wow.
And I've got 9 spaces. I haven't marketed it properly. I've got too many other things going in my life. But if I had to market that properly, I can earn over R250,000 a month just in selling advertising space. It could be a major source of income without being obtrusive.
No. I just want to.
So that is for corporates, but for our Loving Life family and members,
right,
we're going to make that rate bottom of the barrel rate. For instance, if you have Tiger Wheel and Tire in Boksburg, you're not going to want to pay R1,000 a day for marketing. You're going to want to pay R100 a day for marketing and get proper exposure. So we'll differentiate there. Our family will be our family, and
I just need to respond to Mel's comment where she says no adverts, please. Mel, as Rudy says, they won't be intrusive. They'll be basically on the sides, or you won't even notice them. But the actual
it won't be like the YouTube adverts that appear on top of the video. It'll be somewhere on a little sidebar right here on the side, and you won't even notice it. And that's my experience with my rugby website. The people have no problem whatsoever with those adverts running there, but these days online marketing is the way to go if you have a business that's serious. If you're an electrician or an electrical contractor or a big construction man or another type of professional, it pays these days to market in the right places. One doesn't place your ads in a newspaper anymore or in a magazine. There are other ways to reach the public, and if you do not market, your business stands a chance of going down. And we must use this small little world of ours with knowledge, and make it affordable to the public to advertise and get value from the advertisement.
And at
the same time, maybe monetizing it a bit and bringing some money in for Scott Bolson.
Well, with that money too, we can actually improve the website. We can do things to it. We can add things to it. So it plays multiple purposes.
To charities and all sorts of things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, the other important thing is that we're not going to be doing this now. We're talking about down the track. So we're just talking about things that we're looking at doing. Now, I'm talking to the people in the side chat now. How can you help? How you can help is if you've got ideas, if you want to become active somehow in this site, maybe, just think about it and send me an email. As you know, my eyes aren't great. If I'm still looking for someone to take over this role of mine down the track. I still haven't found someone yet. But, these are the sort of things that hopefully will come out in the wash. And that brings me to citizen reporters. I'll just explain to people what citizen reporters are, then hand over to you, Rudy. Citizen reporters are people who say, hey, I'm quite interested in, participating and putting news stories up or doing a video about what happened in Cape Town today. Yeah. And those sort of things. So if you're interested in becoming a citizen reporter on the new platform, please just contact me and I'll have a chat to you about it. And Rudy, do you want to just talk about the ability for people to post their news stories up on the channel?
Yeah, look, we don't want unvetted people to post on their own. We want these selected quality individuals from that we select to put news items on. But if people have quality stories that they want us to take cognizance of, we're going to provide them with an easy link to upload those videos so that we can vet them and then place them on our website if we deem it good enough to place there, because we'll have to sift. There'll be a huge amount of those things. You know the research that you do, Scott. There'll be a huge amount of those that we actually chuck to the bin.
Yeah.
And there will be selected ones that we say we can't do without having these citizen reporters upload stuff for us. So we're going to probably on the cloud, on our premium cloud service with unlimited space, we're going to create a folder there which we'll make public so that people can upload stuff to there. And then, for us that administer the site, me, you, Marlena, and these selected news item places will give access in the back end to those uploaded stuff to sift through and to grab the video material and the images and whatever from there. But we must be very careful not to allow people to post on your website because it could be the biggest load of crap and spam
and fake news,
fake news and spam and so on. So we must be very wary of that, but yet we must create the opportunity for them to supply you with material in a very easy way.
Yeah. Now, I just want to add to that. Michaela has said, do we need specialist equipment to post stuff on the new platform we submit as citizen reporters? The answer is no. But what I would love to track down is perhaps a retired editor, newspaper editor, who could perhaps come in and take up that role of vetting news stories that are put up by citizen reporters. What do you think about that, Rudy?
There's an old girl here in Brakpan. I live in the East Rand, in the little enclave of Brakpan.
Yeah.
And there's an old lady that was a journalist for years and years and years, and I've been doing her computers for her, and she's as old as the mountains, but she proofreads manuscripts for books. She's an old journalist, so she understands the whole journalist perception of what goes and what doesn't go.
Yeah.
And I will reach out to her and ask whether she would possibly be willing to proofread some of those things and so on for us. She's not very well to do, so and that's the other reason why we might want a little stream of income so that we can give her a couple of bucks a month and say, look, filter through that for us and tell these 6 people that, look, Peter, you write about this one for us. Wolfie, you write about that one for us. And whatever, I'll reach out as far as that is concerned, but she's a highly qualified as far as a proofreader is concerned and a journalist. So we want quality material out there. We don't want half-hearted material out there.
Well, maybe at the right time you could speak to her. Now, what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start going through an enormous number of questions that have been put in the side chat. And, okay, so I'm going to start with, go ahead.
So, Scott, before the questions, we'll deal with them now. There was something that I wanted to say.
Practical politics?
No, that
we'll talk about that at the end.
But there was something that I wanted to venture Anyway, I'll think about that. Yeah, let the people fly with the questions.
Okay, but before we do,
just don't let them ask if I'm as naughty as I appear on the side chat.
Okay, before we get their questions, when will the lovinglifetv.com version 1 website actually be live?
Look, we've got the shell of the website built already. The lovinglifetv.com domain we bought yesterday. We paid for it. We did the name server pointing. I've put it on the web space, and I've put it in under construction mode. Scott, maybe if you want to give the URL in the side chat.
I have. Yeah, I'll just put it in there again so people have it. But I'll just put on the screen what's there at the moment, because it's not very exciting.
It's just a under construction page. It's just a shell. I'm developing the actual website in what we call in the web development world in a local development site or a staging area. And the reason why I'm doing that is I'm building it so that once I've got the first full draft with everything up and running, on a local development site, I can send you, I can upload that local development site to Dropbox or Google Drive or OneDrive or one of these clouds and say, Scott, go and download that local development, put it on your computer. You don't even need to be connected to the internet when you put it on your computer, and let it run and play with it and break it. Because I've got the original version of the local development here. And then once you've played with it and broken it and fixed it and put news items on and off and whatever, then you come back to me and you say, Rudy, this little thing here doesn't work well. I don't like the font that you've used. I don't like the colors that you've used for that logo. Just go and fix it for us. The look and feel of a website is a very subjective thing. What I think looks nice might not look nice to you, and it might not look nice to Wolfie, or Michelle Millard might like pink and purple, and you and me might like dark blue and whatever, So look and feel is very subjective. So I've got to run it past you first once I've done the local development. Give it to Scott. Play with it, come back, give me critique on it, let's change it, let's make it better, let's add that functionality, bring out the final version, and then we take the local development environment or the staging area and we push it live to the live web space, and we take away that ugly, done in 5 minutes background, of the under construction site, and we make it live. And then we have a massive bash on YouTube to say our website is up, it's running, it's open. Go there now. Okay. And register there now.
I'll be pushing it on YouTube. That's for sure.
Okay, and so that's how it'll happen. Time-wise, time limit, you guys
by the end of November, probably.
You guys must realize that I've got two constraints. Number one, I still make bread and butter and pop and tikkie every day. I'm a working man, and I've got many things that I do. I also have another leg to my life, which is I act as an expert witness in court cases for electronic forensic auditing. So every so often I'm in the Supreme Court giving testimony and challenging the state's badly prepared policemen, and I get big scalums free by means of the electronic forensic audits that I do in conjunction with advocates and attorneys. So I work hard, I work long hours. So all the development is after hours stuff for me. Luckily, I am a bit of a workaholic. I do work long hours, so I will devote time to it. So that's the one constraint, is that I have to make money. I have to live and I have to make money.
Right.
The other time issue is the fact that I've got to go and put 6,260 odd videos as news items or posts onto this website. Now, if I had to spend 3 minutes or 5 minutes per item to put the old ones on, imagine the time that I'm spending in achieving that. So your archive is large. If this was a new YouTube channel that Scott said to me, I've got 50 videos up, go and build me this platform and we'll go from here, then we'll cut my time in by 9/10.
Right.
I've got to go and put your archive on, Scott.
That's a big archive.
Archive is important to us.
Now, I'm going to keep on going through the questions. Aki Stratum has said, will we have a bit more freedom of speech on this channel? The answer is yes. Obviously, we'll have the same standards. We don't want foul language and that sort of stuff in the side chat or down below comments. Obviously, we don't want comments that are going to draw attention to the channel. People are going to say this is a racist channel. So, basically, that there will be restrictions as far as that's concerned. But, generally, yeah, look, you within bounds, a lot freer than on YouTube.
Look,
a lot freer.
Let me tell you what my experience is with that. You can imagine how many comments there are on my rugby website, how many hundreds of thousands of comments there are on my rugby website. And during a live rugby match, the people get heated, and a Western Province supporter, these keyboard warriors takes out a Blue Bull supporter or whatever, so there will be a moderation function. And we will appoint certain people as moderators. The current spanners in the side chat, don't worry, we'll use you again as moderators, and we'll give you the ability to delete comments and place people in timeouts and so on. But there'll be much more freedom. We'll decide what is freedom, not YouTube, not Facebook, not our government. We'll decide what we go with.
And when Jan van Riebeck says, I reserve the first song on the news site to be Della Ray, well, you got it, Jan. Once we do live streams from the news site, we'll certainly do that.
Yeah.
Now, Wolfie has said, will there be a dark mode option on the site? White pages hurt my eyes, so I always use dark mode. Might be the same for some other people. I haven't thought that deeply, but the website theme that I'll be using is a theme called Cadence. And from past experience, Cadence is a very bloody nice theme. It has a dark mode and a white mode option. I must just get my head around how I can let the individual user choose. I want dark mode, or I want white mode, or whatever. Right. I know, Scott, you said, when you do your live streams, it's not as taxing on your eyes, but when you actually physically do white on black paper reading and whatever, that's what buggers your eyes up. Yeah.
So that's, Wolfie, thank you very much for pointing that out to me. I will most definitely have a look at that to allow us to have that simple choice of dark and light mode and so on. It's easily achievable. We'll do it. Why not?
Okay, great. Now, Gerard Bielefeld has said, Scott, when do you interview the Queen of Loving Life, Marlena? Well, when Marlena wants to come on, but Marlena likes to be in the background. Charlotte Smith says, can he translate from Afrikaans to English if we have live streams with subtitles?
There are certain translation plugins and software available, and we are going to be utilizing some of them. We're going to use some of the very popular translate software out there, which I employ regularly and actually almost without fail. To make it easier, once again, I haven't thought as far as to make comments maybe translatable, or to make the article itself or the description beneath the video easily translatable. Those plugins and things exist in the world, and it's a matter of me, once I'm refining it, searching for those little things. And once again, it's something that runs in the background that you're not even aware of, and you'll maybe have a little button to say translate, and it'll ask you in what language, and we'll give limited options like Afrikaans and English. I don't speak German or French or whatever and so on, so
we
not
rarely
going
have
to,
them on.
we're not going to translate it in all sorts of languages, and for now we're definitely not going to translate it into 11 South African languages either.
I think that would be an overkill, especially if you do Khoi.
Click, click, clack, clack.
Click, click. Yeah. Viking Boer says, I suppose there'll be very good security built in for hackers and trolls and stuff.
Yes, I build antivirus software. You can call it antivirus software or security plugins in, which uses or utilizes 128-bit encryption. To put it in perspective, your bank card at the teller has got 4 or 5 numbers, whereas 128-bit encryption is pages and pages and pages full of numbers strung together, billions and millions and billions of options. So it's going to be much more secure than your ATM and your ATM card and your bank details.
Right.
One still cannot prevent serious hackers trying to get into your system, so I've got to protect it. But that's also why we're using international web hosting, where we've got spam assassins and all sorts of things. But I'm going to be using serious antivirus or security software on the website to make sure that we don't get hacked. And the typical thing in the web world is DDoS attacks, denial of service attacks, and so on. And you hear of big corporates that have been hacked and whatever. I can't say that we're not going to be hacked. What I am going to say to you is that I'm going to employ a very religious backup strategy as well, to back up the site, so that if the site goes down for whatever reason, whether it be hacking or denial of service or whatever the case may be, that I can take that backup and restore it up and maybe lose a day or 2 days worth of stuff. So yes, that will have to be done.
Right. Now, Richard Anderson says, okay, Wolfie's just said here, Rudy does the same work as my brother. Well, that's good to know, Wolfie. Now, Wolfie, you're going to be in touch with Rudy, aren't you? If you send me an email, I'll just forward your details to her, to him. Richard Anderson has said, can there be a whisper facility in chat?
You mean like a voice messages?
I think it's like it becomes italicized or something like that, like it's like you whispering in chat.
Once again, I haven't thought about that.
That's something we could look at down the track. It's not a...
Yeah, the first thing is to get this thing
absolutely
up and running and easily fully functional.
Yeah.
And then to add we talked about stage 2, which might be a commercial leg. We talked about stage 3, which might be advertisements and sponsorships and whatever and so on.
Yeah.
But stage 1 is to get it on par and better than YouTube.
Right. Yeah.
And easier than YouTube. So look, that is our focus at this stage, is to get things out there, which is really, really important. These news items and these live streams matter to South Africa. It matters, well, for that matter, it matters to the rest of the world as well.
Yeah.
But we want our platform to be secured, because on YouTube, you're never sure. Scott, you're never sure from day to day whether a live stream is going to be taken down or demonetized.
That's exactly right.
Or you're going to get a community strike.
Yeah.
We want to get away from that scenario.
Yeah. Now, okay. Now, the next question. Bruce Basters, can the new web-based system eventually become like a TV station? Well, I guess it could with the way technology is going.
Yeah, it could. It could possibly.
That's where we need the citizen reporters.
The fact of the matter is that there are YouTube channels that are very much like TV channels already. I follow a number of them. Specifically, during the US elections now, I followed a number of these channels that have proper news. They program at 8 o'clock at night or 5 o'clock in the afternoon or whatever it is. The news of the day type of thing. Yes, we can. We're not going to be showing movies and things that your typical TV channels do. You won't be able to go to Super Sport 1 and watch all the rugby games being streamed live.
Maybe in the future. Maybe in the future.
Maybe at some stage. But at this stage, it must be an absolute. Afrikaans woord daarvoor is teenvoeter for YouTube. It must be a counter against what we're experiencing.
Yeah. Now, ICAT has asked, do I have to pay a subscription fee? No. Nobody pays anything to be on the channel. Nobody. There are two key different types of people. There's members and they're non-members. And a member is someone who actually sends an email address. They then get a username, just like YouTube. They have their own access through their password to the channel. And then there are people who can just, hang on, really? And then there are people who can just visit the site. They can still see the videos just like members can, but they can't comment. So
no, they can comment as well. They can comment as well, the free visitors. But even the registered users won't pay a cent. Let's make it clear. Nobody will pay a cent to be a member of lovinglifetv.com.
Yeah, okay. So that answers that question anyway. Okay, Charlotte Smith. God, this is English subtitles again. Okay, we covered that. Viking Boer, I suppose there will be a good Q&A section for the website into and how it works.
Yeah, there will be a number of things. There will be what did you call it, Scott? The terms and conditions.
Terms and conditions, yeah.
Little terms and conditions on, and I might put some frequently asked questions on. But once again, like I said from the start, I don't believe YouTube has a frequently asked questions division, and all you guys manage to take part in the side chat. It'll be that easy.
Right.
It'll be that easy.
Now, Wolfie has asked, can you add an option to link Google or Facebook in order to register? But I guess the problem there is we don't have your email address. We can't send you, let's say, a daily email saying, hey, here are the videos that have been uploaded or something like that.
Look, there are various plugins available that make that allow for Facebook registration rather than website registration. And there's discussion platforms like Discuss, which, registration process. What is your name and your username? What is your email address? Click on the submit. What is your password? You select your password that you log in with. What is your password? Click on the submit button. An email gets sent to your email address that you've used, where you click on a link to verify that email address is real. Boom. So it's not a fill-in page where you got to sit for 5 minutes to register on the site. It'll be 3 things that you fill in and click a submit button. Simple. Part of why we're moving away from YouTube is owned by Google.
Yeah.
Facebook is also owned by one of these social media antagonists or whatever, what is it, Zuckerberg, or who owns Facebook or whatever?
Zuckerberg.
We want to get away from them.
Yeah.
We want to get away from YouTube. We want to get away from Gmail. We want to get away from Google. We want to use Google only as a search engine. We want to get away from Facebook, but we'll make it so easy to register that you don't even notice registry.
Yeah. Now, Dan Berryman has said, now this is really showing me up, okay? He says, Scott, don't worry. A friend of mine is a captain on an Airbus, a flying computer, and he can't even send an SMS. What is an SMS?
SMS is a text message on your phone, Scott.
Oh, yeah, I can do that. Okay. I just know to send you a message. All right, I'm better than the captain of the plane. Now, Mel says, okay, that's not sort of question. Charlotte says, can Rudy put in, we already gone through that one. Okay. John van Rensburg asks why there is not an option to send donated super chats. I think he's talking about my Loving Life channel. That's because it was very kindly demonetized by YouTube about 18 months ago, because they felt that my rhetoric was a bit too right-wing for such a libtard channel or platform.
Yeah, I've seen that super chats or whatever for instance, on Chris Wyatt's channel and so on. I know he's been on your channel and I think you've been on his channel as well. I've seen those super chats, and that is donating money to Chris Wyatt that way. And that's why I'm going to build that little donate button in so that you can donate and anonymously donate. A lot of people won't want to even let it be known that they've donated anything. And to me, a lot of these super chat things and whatever, it's maybe wow on the screen and whatever, but it's also, catching some shine. I'm donating here and whatever.
Yeah.
And that's not what we want to achieve.
Yeah. Well, I have to tell you, I know a bit about super chat. 60% of the money that you put into a super chat, YouTube keep. Only 40% actually goes to the person you. So, it's an extraordinarily expensive way of sending money to a YouTuber. Super chat is just a way for YouTube to make money. Viking Boer says, what about a Loving Life radio station? Well, Viking, if you want to set one up and get a couple of people to be presenters, let's do it.
Okay. Once again, that almost hits back to that TV channel idea and just make it news and whatever. It's Viking Boer. It's definitely something that we can consider eventually. But remember, everything that we add, we're eventually going to have to move away from Rudy's hosting reseller account to some other major web hosting platform, on a dedicated server. Soon as we grow big, like that, and our aim must be to grow big. But as soon as we grow big, it sets up a whole new challenge of costs and expenses and cost structures and admin behind the scenes, and. So once again, the first functionality is to replace YouTube.
Right. Now, iCat says, will it basically be ScotTube, like YouTube, but better? Yes. Okay, now, Jan van Riebeck says, regular people watching must share the new site. Exactly, guys. Everybody watching now, please let people know about lovinglifetv.com. Tell them to bookmark the page. I will be promoting it heavily underneath all the videos I put up, like I am at the moment, Loving Life Live, because remember, from the 1st of January 2021, live streams are going to Loving Life Live. They won't be on the main Loving Life channel. Okay.
Yeah, they won't be there, but we'll be asking the people not to even watch it from YouTube. We'll be asking people
from Loving Life TV, exactly.
Website.
But it'll just be that's how I've got a stream. It's from Loving Life Live. Yeah.
We will use YouTube only as a vehicle.
Yeah, exactly. Marlena de Villiers says, perhaps Rudy would like to do a live stream on his forensic auditing at court. That would be an interesting story.
That's interesting stuff. South Africa's forensic departments in the police are in a shocking state.
I'm not surprised.
But, talking about electronic and mobile forensics, what the police does, or what they do when they raid people's places, say on a major criminal case, is, they take the mobile phones and the Apple Macs and the laptops and whatever. And so on. Last year in September to November, I was involved on behalf of the defense in a case where 11 accused did SARS in, or supposedly did SARS in, with over 200 million rand.
Wow.
And, they took these people's cell phones and iMacs and Lenovo notebooks and Android phones and Apple iPhone 6 Pluses and you name it, what was then the case. And the challenge then is for the police then to leave those items intact, not to open them, but yet to make a mirror image of that hard drive or memory that is on the item in a forensically sound manner.
Right.
And they do that by means of forensic software. If you're talking mobile phones, they mostly use an Israeli product called Celebrite, which basically makes an extraction of all the data in that mobile phone and recovers deleted emails, deleted WhatsApps, deleted SMSs or text messages. It recovers images no matter whether it was deleted or not. And the telephone call logs and whatever. And, all the documents that are sent on mobile phones now by means of PDF documents and Word documents and whatever. So they extract that and even the deleted stuff. So you think you've deleted your WhatsApp messages? Believe me, they can be retrieved. Same with your text messages, same with your images, same with your videos, same with your documents, same with your call logs. You can delete whatever you want, it can be retrieved. But it has to be done in a very scientific manner. As far as computers, both on the Mac side and Linux and Windows side, They use software called Access Data or Access Data FTK Imager and Access Data FTK Suite, and IF. What is IF's manufacturer? Anyway, they use that type of software and they make a clone of your hard drive without removing your hard drive from your PC. And then they extract the data, once again, deleted emails, deleted documents. They extract that because when you delete something off your hard drive on your PC, on the hard drive where it used to reside, all that your hard drive basically does, it tells it, you know, this item is deleted. Just delete the place on the hard drive where the memory of the place where it was stored on the hard drive. The actual data still lies on the hard drive until it's eventually overwritten by new data. So you can go and retrieve years of information that has been deleted. You can even recover stuff from a formatted hard drive. I do that regularly, you know, when people have deleted stuff and deleted their inbox on computers, I go and recover that. That's as easy as pie to do. And what they then do is once they've extracted the mobile data or they've extracted the computer data, as they put it through a process of analysis to refine what they've gotten, and then they use filters like we are going to use on this website to make our searches better. They use filters on that software to then say, I only want the messages between Mr. A and Mr. B and
Right.
Mr. C and whatever, you know, to limit the extracted data only to what incriminates the accused. Once again, the emphasis there is that they've got to follow very sound forensic practices, and this is something that the police is very notoriously bad with. You know, they don't follow good practices.
Right.
They don't do all the verification processes. And the big thing that we as the defense always hammer on is we create doubt as to whether their extraction or their image that they made was made in a sufficiently sound way so that it can be regarded as coming from that
Device.
that device. And, you know, for instance, last year's case in the Supreme Court, the case had been going on for 3.5 years already, and the advocates brought me in to counter this expert witness, a lieutenant colonel in the South African police. So highly ranked individual, and you know, I went through 86 hours of analyzing what he did, and so on, and then we eventually ended up in court, and I sat next to the advocate, and having practiced, I had worked out all the cross-examination for this advocate because of the technical nature of what we're talking about. Even an advocate that specializes in these things is a layman as far as electronics is concerned, and that's where my expertise comes in, and it makes me unique in South Africa and possibly in a large bit of the world, that I can say I've got the legal experience, I understand the whole court system and processes, and I've got the 25 years in the IT industry as a programmer,
Right.
and coder, and I've got my MCSE as far as computer qualifications are concerned. So I'm an expert witness, and I worked out all the cross-examination, and in the space of a day and a half in court, we broke that Lieutenant Colonel's testimony down to nothing.
Wow.
To zero.
Wow.
So this is the type of thing that I do.
I have to just say, Rudy, that I think the easiest way to delete even deleted files is to just create another folder, copy a big folder into that, so what you're doing is just filling up your hard drive with the same stuff several times, and just do it until there's absolutely no space left at all on your hard drive, because that's then overwritten, as you said, the old stuff, and then you delete those duplicated files and it's gone, whatever it was.
There's software that one uses to actually nuke a hard drive as well. I think one is called Dukem Nukem or whatever, and what it basically does is it goes to all the sectors on the hard drives and it overwrites noughts and ones or whatever over all the space it was ever used. So once you overwrite a sector, you can't retrieve its data. So you actually physically clean that hard drive. You make it irrecoverable. And so on. But that only happens when, say, you sell your notebook or you scrap it. That's when you're supposed to take those serious nuke actions. But for the normal person like you and me that really don't have much to hide, some people might have a couple of naughty pictures and whatever on their PC.
I have to tell you a story, Rudy. I went to the local cash converters, which is where you can buy secondhand stuff for cheap, and they had this hard drive, video hard drive, and I bought that for about $10 or something like that, and I plugged it into my television, put on the remote, and there were all these porn videos on there. I thought, what? They hadn't cleaned the damn thing. So I spent hours cleaning all these things off, and then I was able to copy what I wanted to put up there. But it's you've got to be so careful what you leave lying around. Anyway, that's outside the topic of our discussion tonight.
Yeah, sorry, I went off on a tangent, but
there are a couple of questions. Interesting. There are a couple of questions that have come in while you've been talking. Okay. iCat says, will you upload a video when the website is complete to let us know? Absolutely. Well, I'll be putting a link to lovinglifetv.com below every video I put up so that people know that this is there. But in the meantime, guys, please just bookmark lovinglifetv.com and just keep checking, because as you can see, Rudy's working on it, and we're not sure exactly when it'll go live, but it'll certainly be in the next few weeks. Manuel Magro says, is there data sanitizing software to remove the images from your deleted files? Well, I think we pretty well covered that. Okay, one final question. Jack Borter says, can we have a fact checker on the comments? Well, I don't think we really need that, do we?
You mean if somebody comments and they say, this is the truth, can you fact check it?
Yeah.
We're getting very technical there, and maybe later if there's a need for that, if we find that there's a but
I don't see a need. I really don't see a need.
No, but facts are subjective as well.
Yeah, that's right.
What is a fact to me might not be a fact to Jack Borter. Wikipedia's wrong half of the time. If I can put it that way,
Wikipedia's BS. Now, I'm going to ask everybody in the side chat a question, and if you're excited by this new development with Loving Life, please put 1. If you are not excited by it, please put 2. Or if you're indifferent to the new website, please put 3 in the side chat. Okay, 1, you're excited by it. 2, you're not excited by it. Or 3, really don't matter. Okay, so here we go. Let's just see what we get out of that. Okay, it's just 1s at the moment, which is excellent. I love to see that. Now, while that's happening, you did ask me, Rudy, if I would bring up the subject of practical politics in closing. Do you want to just talk about that?
Yeah, Scott, I asked you about that. Let me firstly state that I'm not a political animal. I've never belonged to a political party in my life, and I never will. I consider myself too much of an independent thinker to bind myself to any political party or movement. But I've got principles in life. And to me, well, my principles are, I am 150% for a free market system and capitalism, and I'm 1050% against socialism and communism and any form of overly government control. I believe we are big people, not children. I believe we must be allowed to make money in a free market. I believe all of us, irrespective of color and race and whatever, should have equal opportunity, and that's why I'm dead set against BBBEEE, whatever they want to call any form of affirmative action. I believe it's inverse racism. I believe that we do not live in a democracy in South Africa. I believe we live in a sham democracy, and to me that is not good enough. So that is my basic viewpoints. I love my country. I'm too old to move from South Africa, and I don't want to leave South Africa. I love my roots. My ancestors in South Africa came into South Africa 9 years after Jan van Riebeeck in 1661. That's how long the Geldenhuys family have been in this country. We were part of the Groot Trek. We were part of the Second Anglo-Boer War on Boer side. My father's mother was born in a cave in Lesotho, hiding from the English.
Wow.
So those are my sentiments as far as South African politics are concerned. Yet, I don't believe that we got to throw away the rest of South Africa, the black population, the colored and the Indian population. I believe somehow we got to convince them to have our idea about rights and democratic rights.
Right.
So I believe everybody is equal, but everybody's got an opportunity and a responsibility. So that is how I look at it from a broader political viewpoint. Those are my ideas. You might agree with them or you might not. But I believe in practical politics, and I'm going to give you examples of what is and what is not practical politics.
Right.
Firstly, if we look at the lockdown regulations of Dlamini Zuma and old Cyril the squirrel.
Hippo eyes.
Hippo eyes. We all know that wasn't practical politics to ban cigarette sales, to ban alcohol, to make people go and especially in the townships, people in little tin shacks and put 10 of them there and think that they're not going to go outside and whatever. That's
the
not
L
practical.
factor missing in action.
That's not practical politics. And so they failed my test there. From the word go. For instance, as far as the cigarettes go, you saw that during the live stream I had my ciggy here and
I did.
And I smoked one. I always tell people I haven't been smoking for very long. It's only been 40 years now. So there was no way that they were going to stop me. Yeah. There was no way. And I'm sure 80% of smokers felt the same. Practicality. If you look at the damage that they've done to the economy for this sham sham virus. Is that practical politics? No, it's not.
Yeah.
You know, that's the viewpoint that I come from. But why I mentioned Zuma first is I want to mention a couple of the people that we regularly refer to as our possible saviors in South Africa, and I want to highlight why I don't think they practice practical politics either. And the first person that I'm going to refer to in that regard is to the very good man Reyno de Beer, with his court cases that he fought on his own in the Supreme Court in front of Judge Norman Davis, who was at school with me. Norman Davis, clever man, good man, and the little victories that Reyno de Beer had there. And he thinks that he's achieved a hell of a lot. And let me tell you people, he's achieved a few little hollow victories, and I'll tell you why I say so. I like the man, I like his spirit, I like what he's trying to do, but his legal battles were hollow little victories. And the reason why I say so is, if you walk into an Absa Bank or a First National Bank or a big chain store or a Pick n Pay or whatever, and you don't wear your mask, they're going to simply say to you, sir, you're not welcome in this big chain store. Now, he's saying we must demand that we mustn't wear our masks in that chain store, and they're simply going to say to you, sir, sorry, that is our policy. You know, if you don't want to shop here, you're welcome. But do you have to go then to the little teeny-weeny little Pakistani store here on the corner, who's a foreigner or whatever, to buy your groceries at double the price? No. What I do is I don't wear my mask in my office, in my house. I smoke in my house. I drink alcohol when I want. Luckily, I don't drink a lot of alcohol. And so alcohol didn't affect me during lockdown. But if I go to Pick n Pay, I get out of the car and I get to Pick n Pay's door and I realize, oh shit, I've forgotten to put my mask on, and I have to run back to the car and put my mask on and then go into Pick n Pay, because their prices are decent and they've got a variety. So to me, that is practical politics. Right. There's no ways that the big chain stores and the big corporates and the banks and whatever is going to say to you, we're not going to toe the government line because they have to. Otherwise, they get a click pulled on them by the EFF and the ANC, and they have to apologize and whatever. So to me, practical politics is, how can you protest and what court actions can you bring to achieve something real? Something tangible that the government can't stop you from achieving, because they can manipulate the big chain stores and whatever. So his hollow victories to me did little, and they laughed at him. I'm telling you now, behind the scenes, they laughed at him, and that's a pity, because he's well-meaning and he's a wonderful man, and I admire him. But one must be practical.
Right.
So that is one of the gentlemen that I have to discuss. You know, we must, from a legal perspective, he thinks he's achieved, but he hasn't. The second South African that I want to discuss, or the second movement that I want to discuss, is this hashtag direct elections movement, ODES. Desmond Bernardo of Double ODES. He's advocating that we must do away with political parties in South Africa, and all the politicians must be directly elected by the public. Now, I wanted to debate that with him, and I left a message on their Facebook group on direct elections, and I put a long post there and I said to him, talk to me, because I want to tell you why what you are saying is pie in the sky. And I'm going to say to you people now why I think that is pie in the sky. It's a noble idea to have your representatives elected directly. But show me where in the world is there a country without political parties? Even the CCP in China is a political party, a one political party state. But everywhere in the world, there are political parties. And if you had to do away with political parties, say you managed to do that, and there would be these independent candidates, who would fund them for their election campaigns? Wouldn't it be exactly the same New World Order capitalist money who would fund their election campaigns? And wouldn't they be bound to their coat ties for funding their election campaigns? So to me, doing away with political parties is not the thing to do. That's impractical politics. What is practical politics in that regard is to say, how do we achieve responsible and accountable politicians? How do we create responsible and accountable government? And if you go and look at the successful democracies in the world, okay, America is now in turmoil, even though their two parties are very similarly matched. But the most successful democracies in the world have a two-party configuration where the two parties are almost equally strong, so that if politicians do not fulfill their mandate, by the next election they'll be voted out by the other political party. That is the system of checks and balances that you need to create in South Africa. Is if you don't perform, next election you're out. So we need to create a situation in South Africa where we create a big enough opposition force to the current forces of evil that we call the ANC and the EFF, and to the most part the DA and whatever. We need to create, somehow we've got to find out how we're going to manage to create an opposition force to, among all South Africans, of all creeds and colors and whatever, to create a suitable opposition that is strong enough so that if the ANC or the EFF or whoever is in power don't fulfill a responsible mandate, by the next election they'll be replaced by this new entity. And if this new entity that we all support doesn't fulfill their mandate, we must vote for another entity. You know, responsible and accountable government and politicians is what we must aim for. Right. Not the abolition of political parties and whatever, because that'll be financed by the New World Order anyway. So that is practical politics to me. Okay.
Now, Rudy, I would like to wrap up the live stream now. We've been going 2.5 hours, so this has been a big one. What I'd like to shut off or shut down the live stream with is perhaps a closing statement by you, just to people watching the video now or watching the video later. Maybe it's something about the new channel, maybe it's what people should do regarding the new channel. I'll leave it up to you.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to talk about one more thing, Scott, and that is community safety. And you know, we all know that the government and the police and the Defence Force is not going to protect us as minorities and as groups and as towns and as suburbs in South Africa. And I want to urge the people in the side chat, the whole family and everybody else listening, and I want to urge them and say, get involved in your own community in community safety, whether you believe that is through the Suidlanders or Boerelegioen or the community safety police or a radio group or an agricultural union or through AfriForum or whatever, get involved, get off your ass and get involved, because we got to start organizing in community safety structures and start fulfilling some of the functions that the police just do not do. I'm involved with a wonderful man by the name of General Roland de Vries, who was in the 80s was deputy head of the not the South African Defence Force, the adjunct hoof van die leer. He was a general in his time, a real general. He was one of our commanders in our bush war in Angola, Namibia, and he's a clever man, heart in the right place, big Christian, and he's written a 964-page manual on community safety. It's in Afrikaans at the moment, Veiligheid vir Gemeenskappe, and the aim behind that is to get all communities on the same level, on the same mantra, on the same doctrine as far as safety for communities are concerned, whether it's a rural farming community or whether it's towns and whatever. He talks about creating oliekolle. Let me use the little town of Brakpan as an example. Brakpan is an oliekol where the community safety structures like AfriForum and the CPF and the radio group and some of the other private security companies work together as a unit, and we've got real unity between us, and we on the same level. And each other little town and community have these little oliekolle, and they are expanding. People are getting involved, and eventually these safety structures will spin a kop or spin a rock together in a wider network on a regional basis, on a provincial and a national basis, and all will be on the same doctrine of community safety, and we'll take the hands of the government away from our community safety, apart from acting in the courts and investigating crimes, but we'll be safer communities. There's no ways in my life that I'm going to follow the Suidlanders mantra and leave my properties and my town. I've worked too hard for my things, and my family and my support structures are around me. I'm not going to flee. I want communities to provide their own protection. That's what I want as far as community safety is concerned, and I would urge the people to think along those lines. Let's get up from our asses and do something about our situation. So, apart from the website, I wanted to have the opportunity for this message today to say practice practical politics and contribute to your community safety. And we'll all see you on this wonderful new website that we're going to develop that's going to be easy to function on.
Fantastic. All right, Rudy, thank you so much. And look, I just want to say, as one of our channel heroes, thank you so much for all the work that you put in to make this new website a reality. I am so excited. I have for years been wanting to get myself off YouTube because I've seen the games that they play. And I don't often talk about this, but back in 2018, when they had an election in South Africa, I was under, this is the main Loving Life channel, I was under amazing pressure by people putting in complaints about hate speech in my videos and stuff like this. And I got 2 community strikes. And if you get a third, they just take your channel down. And every morning I would get up, go to my computer, and the first thing I did was I would refresh the YouTube studio page for Loving Life. And I'd hold my breath, because I was expecting to see a third strike. And then I'd go and check my emails. And this one morning, I checked my emails, and this email came through from YouTube, and they said, hey, you've just got your third community strike. And I thought, oh my God, that means the whole of Loving Life channel's gone down. But it was quite extraordinary. They actually said, the content on your YouTube channel has been deemed to be too important to actually take down, but this is an official warning. And I then never got another community strike on my main Loving Life channel for a couple of years. And I think they'd realized that there'd been trolls who'd just been putting through all these complaints the whole time. But it's that kind of thing. And also the copyright strikes. You know, I had a copyright strike on my own Loving Life theme song. And I spoke to Winston, who actually wrote the song. And he actually performs his own words to it. It's a unique song. And I'm a co-owner of that song. He's actually made me a co-owner of the song. And here they gave me a copyright strike because I think there's a bar in that song that's the same as a bar in another song. And I've only ever received that strike once, but can you believe it? They actually gave me a copyright strike on my own theme song. And this is why, you know, people get pissed off because their comments are deleted or because they can't get on the side chat or something. You have no idea what it is.
Your subscribers suddenly find out that they're no longer subscribed and all sorts of things.
Yeah. And likes. I mean, I'm getting emails every day from people saying I clicked the like button and it doesn't accept it. There's a whole lot of things that YouTube are doing, which is why we are getting off that platform.
And Facebook. Don't forget Facebook.
Yeah.
Don't forget Twitter. You know, they're all doing it, Scott. And like I said right at the start, I consider myself an independent thinker. Therefore, I want to be independent. And this is what, this is what you're doing now, is to become independent.
Well, once we've made that transformation, and I'm producing videos on lovinglifetv.com, I'm going to be able to say things that I could not say on YouTube because it would draw a community strike. It's rather like what happened in the lockdown in South Africa, where a couple are walking along the beach and someone in a house dobs them in and the police go and arrest them. When you've got a Loving Life channel, or you've got a channel on YouTube, you've got these trolls who come in and they're really mean. You know, they'll go in and they'll say, oh, maybe YouTube will give this a community strike because it's something he said. And then they'll put in a complaint. And depending on who the moderator is, if you get a moderator who's fair and balanced, they'll say, oh, that's bullshit, you know. But if you get one of these libtards who actually then monitors what's been said, they have the authority to give you a community strike without you being able to challenge it. You're stuck with the bloody thing. This is how incredibly frustrating it is being a channel, having a channel on YouTube. It is just such a dangerous and rocky path. That's why having our own platform, our own website for the videos, for the archives, it's like a huge weight off my shoulders. When you told me that day, you said, guess what, Scott? I've downloaded all your videos from all your channels. It was like this huge weight had been taken off my back. Because can you imagine if YouTube decided tomorrow they didn't like Loving Life, for example, and they just took the channel down? All those videos without that backup would be gone. They'd be gone.
Yeah. But so we've achieved that milestone of securing your stuff.
Yeah.
Now we must place it back out there on our terms.
Yeah, so that they can't interfere. Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Look, I once again, Rudy, thank you so much for everything you're doing. I really, really appreciate it. And the Loving Life family are absolutely delighted with all the work that you put in. And to that question that I put, what do people think of the new platform we're going to? I think everybody said they love it. So there you go.
I've got a question for them. At the moment, they must put a 1 on the side chat if they liked having me on the live stream, and a 2 if they didn't. So
I think it'll be 1s, but okay, let's just put that. Okay, if you liked having Rudy on tonight's live stream, put 1. If you didn't, put 2. If you're not sure, put 3. Okay, look, I have no doubt it's just going to be a bunch of 1s. In fact, that's a no-brainer.
I'm going to check up on them. I'm going to
Careful what you put, guys. Okay, they're starting to come through, and they're all 1s so far. So there you go. You've even got double 1s. All right. Okay, to the moderators, thanks, guys, for the great work that you do. And for those who've been watching tonight, thank you for joining us. I know it's been a fairly family-based subject because we're talking about the future of loving life. But I'm really excited because this will take us away from the uncertainty of having YouTube looking over our shoulder the whole time. And that's important. Michaela, Michaela put the wrong number. She put a 1. Rudy's after you. All right, Rudy. Thank you so much for being on. And look, we'll catch up in the side chat soon. But we're going to be talking weekly about the website on Skype and just progress here forward. Okay, fantastic.
Right. Scott, it was no coincidence that I was sent to watch some of your videos in March or April or whatever, and I'm glad we're doing this.
Fantastic. Look, look. There's some things that happen on this channel which are clearly from a greater power. I mean, there's so many things that have happened. I think of Isaac van Zyl as an example. I don't know if you know the story there, but you know the generosity of people when he was in this critical time, absolutely extraordinary. And Dan's prayer that night, look, yeah, it's self-evident.
It shows you we all still have a heart, Scott.
Yeah. And
once we lose that heart, that will to do good, once we lose that, we can just as well die as humanity.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why I'm calling to people to get involved in their community, to have that heart.
Yeah.
For South Africa, for us as minorities, for the Boer folk, of which I'm an extremely proud member of.
Yeah.
Have a heart for what we want to achieve in South Africa.
Yeah. Now, Michaela T has rectified the situation. She's put in about 4 different posts with a 1. So she obviously hit the wrong number. All right, guys.
Go watch.
Everybody else has put a 1 in. All right, guys, please take care. I'll leave the side chat open for a few minutes. I'm sure Rudy will go and join you in the side chat. Are you going to go and join the side chat for a few minutes, Rudy?
Yes, okay, I'm going to go and join.
Okay, I'll leave the side chat open for a while so that you can speak to Rudy and he can answer questions and so on. All righty.
Okay, man.
Take care, Rudy.
Enjoy.
Okay, bye for now.
Scott.
Cheers, guys.
Go and rest.